Okay, what's next?
Our brackets.
Oh, we're gonna do a brackets right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody get your brackets.
Get your brackets. Yeah, get your brackets. We talked about this last week, so if you've been living on the rock for like the last month, someone made this like Kanye West bracket and it went viral. It's basically March Madness, but for Kanye songs, and everyone's been doing theirs, and we're gonna collectively make one right now, and then I've already posted mine onto the Facebook page, so if you want to see ours.
Mine is going out there soon. We both, so like Vincent said, we both have our individuals.
Yeah.
And right now we're going to try to work together and create one that we can both agree on.
Okay, so first on the Northwest
We're
bracket.
starting on the Northwest Conference.
Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Amazing. It's Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Every time.
Yeah, okay. Second one, So Appalled versus Never Let Me Down. I think So
Appalled for sure.
That's like, we haven't even gotten to the point where it's like we can battle on this. Next one, Last Call versus Hey Mama.
Hey Mama.
Okay.
Hey Mama.
Some of these are just really easy. Devil in New Dress versus Real Friends. Crack Music versus New Slaves.
Crack Music.
Yeah, like these are not even hard. I can't read what it says. Flashing Lights versus Famous. Yeah. What's the next one? I can't read. Big Brother versus Love Lockdown.
Love Lockdown.
Yeah, okay. Through the Wire versus No Church in the Wild.
Okay, this is probably like the first like semi-difficult one, but it's obviously going to go Through the Wire.
Through the Wire. Okay, we're going to just finish off
That's
this
when
bracket.
he had braces.
We're going to finish off this bracket, this one individual part.
Sure. Okay, so Can't Tell Me Nothing versus So Appalled. Definitely Can't Tell Me Nothing. For sure. That track is so much fun. Hey Mama versus Real Friends.
I put Real Friends. I could be Hey Mama. This one's like difficult.
I'm going to say Real Friends too.
Okay. Crack Music versus Famous. Yeah. Love Lockdown versus Through the Wire.
Through the Wire.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Real Friends.
Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Yeah. Famous versus Through the Wire.
Famous.
Yeah. I put Through the Wire, but it could be either or, I think.
I think Famous is
Famous is the more fun of the two. Through the Wire is the more like notable of the two, I would say. Depends on like what we could put. I don't know. How are we gonna do this? How are we labeling these?
Whoever makes the best argument wins.
Because like I don't know. I think it could either or. Famous is the best. I don't know. I don't think you can make I think overall Through the Wire has the better production, but Famous is like the way more catchier of the two. Famous is probably the way more fun of the two, but Through the Wire has like some of the Kanye's best stars and bars, and it has this whole entire narrative to it. So I don't know. That's the hard one. What are we gonna put?
How do you want to judge this?
I don't know. That's like
based off of how much you personally like the song, or how much.
I think it's like we just gotta pick one. I think it should go to Through the Wire because that was the launch of like his career, but you can also say Famous is this launch of this new era Kanye.
Alex is telling us to pick Through the Wire.
I think we gotta pick Through the Wire because Through the Wire is just like what started all this shit.
Yeah.
And Famous is kind of what started like his later shit.
That's still one of my. I mean, that's still one of my favorite tracks.
It went
so
to the
I
final
love it.
16 for the reason. So
Alright, I'll put a star by it. That's good. And then Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Through the Wire, which I personally want to give it to Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Because I think that song is so fun.
I had a dream I bought.
So the winner of the Northwest bracket conference is Can't Tell Me Nothing. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's just so much fun, really fun production wise, and I think that Kanye's bars on here just dealing with like fame and being rich and getting everything that he's ever wanted physically.
Yeah.
Is
you can't tell him nothing. He's on this like new level almost.
Yeah, nobody can talk to him. He spent his money that he can buy himself into heaven on a necklace. Like, he doesn't care. You can't tell him anything. I don't know. I just think that's like a fun narrative to kind of play with. Through the Wire, absolutely super influential and really important in his discography, and will remain important too. And it's still a really good track, but Can't Tell Me Nothing, I think, is going to have to take it there.
Yeah.
So moving on to the Donda West
bracket
conference here.
All Falls Down versus Addiction.
All Falls Down.
Yeah. I do like Addiction, though. All Falls Down is like one of his catchiest songs ever.
For sure. Monster versus Heartless.
This one...
I'm going to give it to Heartless.
I put Heartless. I like Monster, too, but it's just like, it's not even close. Like, Heartless is like one of his better...
In the night here.
Drive Slow versus Highlights. I put Drive Slow.
I think Drive Slow.
Highlights is like one of my least favorite moments on Life of Pablo.
It's not my favorite.
It's not like bad, but it's not even like close to like Drive Slow, I would say.
Runaway versus Blood on the Leaves.
This was tough. I put Runaway.
I'm gonna have to give it to Runaway.
Blood on the Leaves, another amazing track. Like, I don't know why they had those two battle there, but like...
I don't know how they decided the seeds for these.
I think it's just because, like, some of these are just, like, super... like, just hard to pick. Like, we're gonna get on later on, like, the right side here in a moment, and, like, that's super tough to decide.
The Saint conference is really hard.
Tough, yeah.
Blame Game versus Roses.
I put Roses.
Roses blue.
Are you putting Roses as well?
Yeah, that was the Outcast.
After
that is Good Life versus Celebration.
I personally put Celebration, but
I'm gonna have to put Celebration
because I love Good Life too. I wish those two weren't right next to each other.
Again, the seating for this is like really weird. Bizarre. After that, the Glory versus Get 'Em High.
Get 'Em High, I would say. Get 'Em High has that weird Talib Kweli part where he's just like, Kanye's just like, I'm friends with Talib Kweli. You mean Talib Kweli? I play that CD in my car all day long, or how she goes, and then Talib Kweli shows up. Just fucking hilarious. Like, one of the most funniest parts of the College Dropout, and really demonstrated Kanye's humor that would be showcased on later projects.
After that is School Spirit versus All of the Lights.
All the Lights, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I don't even think School Spirit's okay. It's not one of like his best moments.
I like School Spirit, and I think re-listening to the College Dropout gave me a new appreciation for it.
It's not one of his like best moments from that though.
No, I think it just made me appreciate it more.
Yeah.
So moving on, I guess, to the next seating here, All Falls Down versus Heartless.
Has to be All Falls Down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. Oh, it all falls down. Drive Slow versus Runaway. I put Runaway.
I think so.
Runaway is just such a better produced track. Drive Slow is not one of the best tracks on Late Registration. It's not one of the most fun, whereas Runaway is just such a beautifully orchestrated and beautifully performed track, and is one of the best tracks off My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, so I think you gotta give it to that.
Also, it was used in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Nintendo Switch. Roses versus Celebration.
I put Celebration, but this is one of the tougher ones. I think it's what you appreciate. Roses has the better narrative. Celebration is way more fun and way more uplifting. I personally put Celebration because that's like one of my favorites, but like this is where we could like differ on shit for once.
I'm honestly probably gonna have to go to Celebration. Roses is not nearly my favorite track.
Celebration, again, one of the most underrated Kanye tracks. I was actually surprised it was actually on this bracket because I don't think it gets enough appreciation it deserves. Get 'Em High versus All the Lights. All the Lights.
All the Lights.
Yeah, that's not even like hands down. Get 'Em High is like, it's
a
funny.
Staple of marching bands everywhere.
Yeah, but like All the Lights. So it's now
All Falls Down versus Runaway.
Runaway. It has to be Runaways. All Falls Down's catchy as all get up, but it's not as beautifully orchestrated. But at the same time being kind of minimal as Runaway is. Yeah, just him playing the single key on a piano.
He's just playing octaves.
Yeah.
All the Lights versus Celebration. I think I'm gonna give it to All of the Lights.
I put Celebration personally because it's his most fun, but like this is one of the either ors because I think personally what I'm thinking is whether we gave it to Celebration or All the Lights, whoever's going next is gonna lose to Runaway. So for me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go to All the Lights. and then of course, Runaway is going to be the winner of the Donda conference.
Do we do Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Runaway right now?
No.
Okay, we wait.
All right, going to the Chicago
Seed
conference over here. Jesus Walks versus Murder to Excellence.
I don't even remember Murder to Excellence that much. The fact that I cannot remember that track for the life of me proves that it doesn't really need to be on here. Streetlights versus We Don't Care. I put Streetlights. We Don't Care is also fantastic.
I put We Don't Care.
I think you can put We Don't Care.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I just personally appreciate that one, but I also don't like. I like We Don't Care a lot too. Right. We Major 30 Hours. This is another one where you can put either. I feel like I personally put 30 hours.
Me too.
Because of Andre 3000.
30 hours.
Stronger Black Skinhead.
Black Skinheads.
I put. The beat alone for that is fantastic. Stronger, great track. I just wish it didn't have to go against Black Skinheads.
Stronger's good, but I also got really tired of Stronger after we went and saw him, and that's the only song they played for like 3 hours. I was like, I never want to hear this song again.
Gold Digger versus Gotta Have It. Gotta Have It, I don't even remember, so I'm gonna give it Gold Digger. Shows how much I've listened to Watch the Throne. Don't even remember like half the tracks on it.
Watch the Throne. Just kidding, I'm not. Slow Jams versus No More Parties in LA.
No More Parties.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of Kanye's best verses as a rapper. Just as a low, no
They're
singing.
They're so fun and so ridiculous.
And then he's like able to run with Kendrick, one of the best rappers in hip hop currently. He's able to run with him, and almost outshine him in a way, which I don't know. I don't think Kanye's ever really been able to do. As a rapper, he's been able to do it as a character, and as a productionist or as a vocalist, but not really as a rapper. And that's why I personally enjoyed that track. Say You Will versus can't read the other one because it's highlighted weird.
Good Morning.
Good Morning. I put Say You Will just because I like the minimalism of it.
I think I would have to go with that too.
Boom, 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 boom. It got me excited to listen to 808s again when we do that in a couple weeks. Power versus Father Stretch My Chicken Sandwich Part 1.
Oh. I think this is probably one of the tougher matchups here.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy both of these tracks, but honestly, like, what sticks with me more?
I think I can't pick because like I put Power on mine, but honestly, like I couldn't decide. I put Father Stretch My Hands Part 1, or like I think maybe that's the one we should go with. But like I'm completely unsure. I think Father Stretch My Hands, what has it against it? It's only 2 minutes, where Power is a short track too. So maybe this is actually a good matchup. Give it a Power because that's a better sample with the 21st century schizo man.
Oh.
So Jesus Walks versus Streetlight, or We Don't Care. I'm sorry. Jesus Walks. Just one of Kanye's most influential tracks of all time, hands down.
Oh, for sure.
30 Hours is Black Skinhead. Black Skinhead.
Skinheads.
30 Hours is good. It's like a fun little track, but like it's not really a full track, I would say, in other regards. If that makes sense. It's a lot of fun, but like when you actually have something with like decent lyrics, or no, like solid lyrics, solid production, it like can't really compete.
Cool guitar.
Gold Digger versus No More Parties in LA. No More Parties in LA. Again, he's able to rap almost as good as Kendrick and stand up to Kendrick, which he's never able to do with like a lot of other people. Say You Will versus Power. I put Power. Say You Will is like a good opener, and it defeated the other good opener, Good Morning, but like it cannot defeat like a middle of the track like
for sure.
Power, especially middle of the album banger.
Here's where it gets hard.
Okay, Jesus Walks versus Black Skinheads. I put Black Skinheads just because I love the beat to it. It gets stuck in my head way more than Jesus Walks. Jesus Walks had way more effect on Kanye's career. It may be a better song, but I really like Black Skinheads. I really enjoy that track. What do you have to say?
I put Jesus Walks on my own bracket for some personal reasons, like just when I first like discovered the song, I guess. and how I listened to the crap out of it. But then also, I think that it had like a lot of influential power over Kanye's career. I mean, this track had been in production almost as long as Through the Wire. Like, these are like, I would consider them like sister tracks. They were kind of conceived around the same time and were worked on for forever to perfect.
Well, Through the Wire, you kind of perfected the first time. After that was just some minor mixing where Jesus Walks, it went through like a couple versions. I don't know. I really like Black Skinhead, but I also really like Jesus Walks. This is the one of the toughest challenges. What do you want to put? I think you can make a case for Jesus Walks because it is it's his most notable song, and you really can't make that case with Black Skinhead. For my personal taste, Black Skinhead, but I think in the way we're reviewing this, Jesus Walks.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I mean I really like Black Skinheads, and I think that Yeezus kind of needs some representation on this list. But
not
Black
Skinhead, I guess. Not Father Stretch My Hands. No More Parties in LA versus Power. No More Parties in LA, personally, for me. Because again,
so,
Kanye's able to give some of his best verses of his entire career.
When that came out, I was like,
it made me it gave me hope from at that time Waves or whatever the fuck it was called currently at that moment. I think it was still called Swish. Maybe.
I remember what it was called, Swish.
I went through so many names. I think it may have been called So God Help Me. That was the first title, I think it was supposed to be called. The Saint.
So Help Me God.
So Jesus Walks versus No More Parties in LA. This is where it gets tough. I really like No More, because this wasn't on my bracket. So Black Skinheads won the Chicago division. What do you think wins, Jesus Walks or No More Parties in LA? Because I think in the context we used to just give it to Black Skinhead, I think we're going to have to use to give Jesus Walks the victory.
Over
No More Parties. Yeah. So Jesus Walks wins the Chicago division.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then this is by far the hardest division here.
Okay, but the first one's easy.
Oh, of course.
Touch the Sky new workout plan. Easily Touch the Sky. Workout plan's like a 5-minute skit that is goofy, it's fun, it's musically interesting. I can listen to it as its own track, not as a skit, but it doesn't hold a candle to Touch the Sky like one of Kanye's best tracks. Champion versus Otis.
I give it to Otis.
I love Otis. Champion's a good track, but Otis is so much fun.
Spaceship versus Ultralight Beam. Ultralight Beam.
Spaceship's catchy as all hell, but it can't outdo the grandiose. That is Ultralight Beam. Dark Fantasy versus Diamonds from Cedar Alone.
Dark Fantasy.
Maybe this isn't the hardest one. Heard Him Say versus I can't read that because the font they use is.
I wonder.
Heard Him Say.
Heard Him Say, yeah.
Again, Kanye West is able to turn Adam Levine into an instrument for his amazing pop ballad.
For sure. Gorgeous versus Homecoming.
Homecoming. Calling Pizza Hut.
Family Business versus Bound 2. Bound to
fall in love. Best moment from Yeezus.
Bound 2
one
is
of the most
amazing.
Eclectic moments from his entire career, and it's utterly beautiful, utterly stupid. It's like Kanye the persona as a track. And then finally, Bad Word in Paris. There's some bad words in Paris versus Late. Honestly, this track blew up the entire word. We're gonna have to give it Bad Words in Paris.
I think so.
It's not really a Kanye track. It's more a Jay-Z track, I would say.
It's still so much fun.
It's better than Late. Late's like a good track, but it doesn't hold up to such like a grandiose scale like that. Something that truly felt like the end of like the end of the golden era of hip hop, or not golden era, but the bling era of hip hop, like that track did. Felt like the tombstone for that track. Okay. Touch the Sky versus Otis. Touch the Sky.
For sure.
Not even maybe this
Evil
is not
Knievel.
Yeah, it's Kanye's Cybers for the music video.
I love
Engraved
that.
in my
I love
mind.
that.
Ultralight Beam, Dark Fantasy. This is where it's tough.
I told you this is the toughest
This is where
one.
it's tough.
I love Ultralight Beam to death. I think that is seriously like just one of the coolest moments you will ever have with a track. But also, Dark Fantasy is so much fun. It's such a
The
great
lyricism
opening.
on that track, just all like the stupid witty lyricism. You got too many Urkels on your team. That's why it wins low. One of the most brilliant, stupid lines I've ever heard in my life. Just the right amount of like completely idiotic but super witty. I think
With the Nicki Minaj opener and Justin Vernon vocals, like
no, that's not Justin Vernon. That's some maybe he's part of a choir.
he's in it.
Okay, but it's I gave it Ultralight Beams, utterly breathtaking, but I gave it to Dark Fantasy.
I'm gonna give it to Dark Fantasy.
It's tough because
I think Dark Fantasy is honestly like very underrated.
I don't think it's underrated. I just think it was just I don't know.
I think it is. When you think about good tracks from Dark Twisted Fantasy, what do you think of?
Dark
Power.
Fantasy.
No.
Because that's the first one. I think Runaways personally. I don't
Power, Runaway,
Monster.
yeah, Monster.
Gorgeous.
I mean, these
Lost
are all
in the world.
Lil Wayne's guitar solo.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
But I think Dark Fantasy is like a really awesome track that's in a way just kind of discounted as an opener.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing,
It's
grandiose
more than-
opener. They're both grandiose openers. As far as like, I love both of these openers personally.
Yeah.
But I've got to give it to Dark Fantasy.
Heard Him Say versus I can't read it again.
Homecoming.
Yeah, Heard Him Say is good, but it's not as. It's like these two tracks. Like it's weird that they're going off each other because it's like Kanye using Adam Levine as a tool versus Kanye using Chris Martin
It's like
as
they
a tool.
knew what you would pick.
It's just like those songs are so similar because they represent how Kanye was used features throughout his entire career. But it's I like both those tracks, but I think Homecoming's the more fun and it has more to say. Kanye's Love Letter to Chicago, I think that's just so much wholesome. Bound 2 versus Bad Words in Paris. There's too many bad words in Paris, so we have to give it to Bound 2.
My mom didn't like that one.
Homecoming versus Bound 2. This is where it's tough. These tracks are very similar as well. Two of Kanye's most poppy tracks. I think Bound 2 takes more risk, and it's way more funner, and the lyricism used in it, in his verses, is way more memorable than in Homecoming. Homecoming's a nice story. Bound 2 is just a lot of fun moments. So I'm going to give it a Bound 2.
I have to give it... Okay, if we're working together, I have to give it to Bound 2 because I think that we have like a lot of really fun memories with Bound 2. It's on the Yo Boys mixtape.
Would you not say, like, Homecoming has good production, but Bound 2 is, like, way more out there?
My personal pick, I love Homecoming. Like, Homecoming is seriously... Okay, spoiler here, it won my entire bracket. I love Homecoming. And so, like, these picks got so difficult over me making the bracket. But on the context of you and I and our friendship and our love of Kanye music, I think that Bound 2 has to take it here.
Touch the Sky versus Dark Fantasy. I gave it to... This is a tough one, but I personally gave it to Dark Fantasy. I think Touch the Sky is good, but I think the lyricism that he uses in Dark Fantasy is just completely fun. It's a nice performance overall.
I think, again, going by our friendship, I've got to give it to Dark Fantasy.
Did you give it a Touch the Sky?
I did, I think.
Dark Fantasies.
Personally, I might have given it to Dark Fantasy, but Touch the Sky still gave it like a lot of competition here.
Yeah.
Because that is such a good song and it means a lot like to me in my past, I guess.
Yeah.
Dark Fantasy versus Bound 2 to finish out the Saint conference.
I gave it to Bound 2. I love that track with a passion.
I've got to do it.
I think that track did so much for Kanye, and it's such a representation of more modern Kanye and kind of the persona who he is now than Dark Fantasy is. I think Dark Fantasy is grand, and it's really well executed, but it doesn't hold a candle to the strangeness and the catchiness that is Bound to.
This guy at school asked me if I wanted to recreate the music video.
I think didn't Seth Rogen and James Franco recreate it? Okay, so Bound to Jesus. So now is it Bound to Jesus Walks?
To finish out, yeah. This is the semis here.
Yeah.
Going into the finals. On the right side of the bracket, we have Jesus Walks against Bound 2.
This one's tough. I think in the context of everything else, we have to give it to Jesus Walks. I love Bound 2 with all passion. This represents like two eras of Kanye, and I think they both did spectacular things for those two eras. But I think which one benefited him more? Jesus Walks.
Personally, I think we should give it to Bound 2.
Should you? Because Bound 2 won the whole entire right side for me, but I don't know. I think in the context of we're giving everything, we gotta give it to Jesus Walks, but I'm completely unsure of how that would work. I don't know.
In the context of everything, we would have given Through the Wire the victory over Can't Tell Me Nothing, then.
I think Can't Tell Me Nothing did more for him than Through the Wire. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do the other side. Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Runaway. Which one?
Personally, I want to give it to Can't Tell Me Nothing.
I in all honesty, Runaway won my whole entire thing, but looking at it from this context, Can't Tell Me Nothing defeats Runaway. Because it's a giant, like, almost FU from Kanye saying, you can't tell me nothing, I'm on my own plane now. I've done so much shit, I've won all these Grammys, I'm my own person. And it's so much representation of his persona is eventually coming out, especially after saying George Bush doesn't care about black people, and especially after having the Rolling Stone cover. It's just like this new Kanye. He's not as, I would say, thankful, or he's not as hungry as he's still hungry, but he's not as, I would say, fighting for as much. He's made it to the top, and now it's more of him just like his rule as king, giving this giant speech as dictating who he is, his position on the mountaintop. So Can't Tell Me Nothing wins the left semifinal. Going back to Bound 2, Jesus Walks, giving Can't Tell Me Nothing context over
Runaway.
I think we're going to give Jesus Walks context over Bound 2.
Okay. So, Jesus Walks is going to win the right side. So, which will win the
final
bold thing? In all honesty, I want to give it to Can't Tell Me Nothing.
I think you have to at that point. Jesus Walks did so much for him. Can't Tell Me Nothing is just one of his best tracks. I don't think there's a perfect way to do this Kanye graphic by any means, and there's no way to like look at which track benefited him the most or which track is his most influential, but I do like Can't Tell Me Nothing more than Jesus Walks. So I think that's what Can't Tell Me Nothing wins the entire Kanye Madness bracket for us personally.
It's done.
Personally, Runaway won it for me. Homecoming won it for you, but Can't Tell Me Nothing will win it for everything.
For us.